Starting. So, hello everyone, I'm Nimesh Solanki. Before we start with the presentation, just want to clear a few things up. Today we're gonna learn about Actions on Google and the new tools which launched just now. I think a month ago, which is Actions Builder. At the end of this talk, you will know things about Actions on Google which you don't know now. You will get familiar with the Actions Builder tool and how to develop some awesome actions on Google, actions for the Google Assistant. I'll make sure that you enjoy learning, and I just wanted to make sure that you will, it was worth spending your time over here. So, a quick intro about me. I'm Nimesh Solanki. I'm a huge conversational AI enthusiast. I like developing skills, actions, or capsules, whatever you say. I say voice-based applications. For the last 2 years, I've been developing voice-based applications. You can find me at Twitter. That's my website, snimesh.com, or on GitHub or LinkedIn. You can connect me over even after the talk. If you have any or doubts or queries, you can ping me on Slack, or you can reach out to all this social media networks. Moving on to why voice technology. So let's first, before jumping into the actions on Google, we'll first cover why we are doing this for voice technology. I would like to give one simple example that for, let's say, when a new baby is born, the first thing it learns, like not the first thing, but over the time it learns how to speak. So in voice-based applications or voice technology, voice user interface, this is the only thing which is required from the user, that you just need to know how to converse. That's pretty much it. You need to know like conversation from to humans or conversation to machine. So it is very simple, even for the like new infants or newborns, or even to the, like, if we can say, even to the senior citizen. It's the most appealing voice interface to interact with the machines. It is most effective in a way, like, for example, this is the most overused example we can say, because anytime anyone wants to like explain about why voice technology, everyone says this. Let's say if you want to book a flight ticket and it takes around 10 to 15 clicks or 10 to 15 taps on a mobile or a web. It takes 10 to 15 taps or clicks. In Google Assistant or Alexa, you can directly
Nimesh, please unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't know. No,
No worries, no worries. It happens.
yeah. Okay, so I'll start again. So before we start with the actual presentation, just wanted to clear things up, clear a few things up. Today we are going to talk about Actions on Google and the new tool which was recently launched, which was Actions Builder. And at the end of this talk, I believe you will know things about Actions on Google which you don't know currently. You will get familiar with the new tool Actions Builder, and how to develop actions for the Google Assistant. I'll make sure that you enjoy learning, and it is worth your time. So moving on, this is my quick introduction. You can find me at this links. Brief introduction about me. My name is Nimesh Solanki. I'm a huge conversational AI enthusiast. I like developing voice-based applications for Alexa, Google Assistant, also the Bixby. You can find me over this links, social media. Even after the talk, if you have any doubts, queries, you can ping me on Slack or over to the social media networks. I'm available over this links. Moving on. So before we get started with the actions on Google, let's set the context right about what voice technology is and why it is the new disruptive technology over here. So first of all, I would like to give you one example and explain you this. Let's say when a new baby is born, the first thing it learns is how to speak or how to walk. So in this technology, in voice-based technology, only thing requirement is you should know how to converse with people, how to converse with machines. That's the only requirement for this technology. As compared to the mobile user interfaces or desktop, you need to know how to operate keyboard, mouse. For a command line interface, you need to know how to type commands, and in the exact format you need to type commands. In voice-based technology, there's no such a requirement. You just need to know how to converse with people, how to converse with machines. So that's why it is easy to use. It's effective interaction between humans and machines in a way, because let's say if you want to book a ticket, a flight ticket from Delhi to Bangalore, you need to go through multiple clicks or multiple clicks or taps in the mobile. You need to have you need to also add the payments like card and all. But in case of voice user interface, you just need to tell one simple conversation. You need to have one conversation with the machine, like the Google Home or device, and you can get things done. That's the only thing. Like, it gets pretty simple and pretty easy, fast to get things done. So that's the only requirement and that's why it is effective interactions between humans and machine. And the third point is accommodates multimodal interfaces. Let's say if you're talking to a device with a smart display, it will also give you the response as well as some text on the screen, so that it is able to convey the message that what is trying to say. So that it helps the user, even if in case the user is lost in some other thoughts, the user can still look at the screen and see, okay, this was the information provided back to me by the Google Assistant. Now, moving on to Google Assistant. Why Google Assistant? Why should you develop for Google Assistant? Why not for some other applications or other technologies? So it is currently available in 1 billion plus devices, because it is available in Android phone, and 90% of the smartphone market in India is Android phone. So it comes built into Android phones, and it also comes in smart watches, smart speakers, earphones, earbuds, everything. Google Assistant integrated. That's why it's available in 1 billion plus devices. It's available in 30 plus languages. So if you are developing in some local languages, still you will be able to cover more number of people by building into some other vernacular languages. Google Assistant also allows the platform to extend the functionality, which is Actions on Google. Actions on Google is a developer platform which allows the functionality, which allows to extend the functionality of Google Assistant so that you can serve the users more efficiently. If you have a website, you can also have a presence in voice where you develop for Google Assistant, and your users or your anyone can access your website. You can develop in for voice also. Moving on to the old way of sharing. Let me hide this. Moving on to the old way. So talking about Actions on Google, let's see what was the old way for developing Google Actions on Google. Then we'll move towards what's the new and the latest way for developing for Actions on Google. So this is the old way, where the dialog flow was in the picture, and let's say if the user asks something and it goes to the Google Assistant, so Google Assistant records this conversation. It then uses some speech synthesis technology to figure out what the user is actually saying. It converts speech to text. Then dialog flow kicks in, where Google dialog flow understands what the user's actual intention is, and it figures out which action to invoke, and based on that, it will invoke and give response back to the Google Assistant, and Google Assistant will convert that text into speech. So that's how the actual conversation flows. And in case even if you have webhook, your action Google, the webhook will be called, appropriate response will be gathered in the webhook, and it will send back to the Google Assistant, and Google Assistant will speak out to the user. That's how usually the old flow looks like. Let's look at the new flow. So new flow is, we use Actions Builder. So Actions Builder is a new web-based IDE. So it's a web-based tool which you can use to develop for voice-based applications for Google Assistant. So it's a simple tool which gives you visual representation of where your actually flow of your conversation going. You can so there's completely one tool where you have to develop, test, design, whatever you have to do. You can do it in single tool. Earlier you have to design the conversation in Dialogflow, then come back to write the code and deploy it over Actions on Google Console. And that's how there were two different platforms. Over here, right now, we only have one platform, and over the one platform, you can do everything and in much efficient way. I'll show you how. So this is the new flow looks like. When the user is asking for some query, Google Assistant records that. That part remains the same, but instead of over here dialog flow is not there in the picture now. Everything we are doing in the Google Assistant console itself. So over here, so now we have a much better natural language understanding in Google Assistant console. We have much faster natural language understanding. We have other faster algorithms which they have used to make voice-based application much seamless. So over here, what exactly is going on when the user is asking some query, Google Assistant picks it and tries to know what the user's intent is. It will figure out an intent and it will see whether if it requires any slot or not. We'll discuss all these terms and just in 1 or 2 slides, and so things will get much clearer then. So your action will handle that thing. It will check whether it will get into the scene. So scene is other one new term which is added to in this actions builder console. So over here it will pick up and the response will be gathered from the your action, and it will deliver back to the Google Assistant, and Google Assistant will speak it back to the user. So that's the pretty much slot. Over here you see a loop. Loop is because once the user had said something, your Google Assistant is smart enough now to figure out are there any other slots required before we fulfill this particular request. So it will gather, and if one slot is fulfilled, it will check is there another slot in this particular scene that is required. Once all the slots it will build up the response and give it to the Google Assistant. Google Assistant will deliver that prompt to the user. So that's how the flow looks like currently. I'll explain you all these terms in a while. So okay. So here's the new console. So over here we have Google Assistant. This is the developer console of the actions on Google. So over here, as you can see, the top bar is actually where you have overview, where it shows all the overview details of your actions on Google. Over here, you see this is the develop tab. Will 90% of the time we'll be working over here, where we'll be developing or designing our conversation. Then over here is the test tab, where you can test, deploy, and analytics. Deploy is for when you want to deploy it to production. And analytics, once your action is deployed, you can check the analytics, how the users are interacting with their actions. Over to the left, we have these are the components which we're going to use while developing. Intents is one component, types, fulfillments, and over here, this is the scene part, which is the heading is missing over here, but this is the scene part which we're going to use. Over here, we can configure more about actions, so we can perform and perform and design the conversation very well. So this is the build area. Over here, you can actually see where your conversation is flowing from the invocation to the start scene and to the next part. We'll cover all this part in a bit. So as I was speaking about these key terms, let's discuss this one by one. So first of all is scene. Scene is basically, you can think of it as a building block of a conversation. Let me give you one simple example. It will make things really clear for you. So let's say you are on a call with someone. Initially, suppose let's say it's an unknown person. So the way conversation goes is you first of all introduce yourself. That person introduces, then the actual main conversation starts, and then the conclusion of the talk begins. So you see these are the different parts of the conversation. Over here, those parts are named as scenes. Let's say the introduction, where the user, let's say your action is asking user for a name, then you exchange names, hobbies, stuff like that. That is the introduction part. Then you talk about some main particular topic, which according to your agenda, whatever the topic of the call is, you talk about that, and then comes the conclusion part. So the way we are dividing the conversation into different parts are called scenes. So scene introduction is one scene, then start is another scene, and the conclusion part or the greetings bye part, that is another scene. You can think of it like that. That is the simplest way I can put it. Scene is pretty different from what we had earlier in Dialogflow. There was no such thing called scenes. There was some context-based conversations. There's no context. This is a state-based actions on Google, where we are designing conversation based on states. There are no context over here. So so next is custom intents. So before jumping into custom intents, let me tell you what is system intents. So system intents, for example, is let's say in any point of the conversation, if the user says cancel or exit, those are the system intents. Those are the intents handled by the Google Assistant itself. You don't need to code about that. You don't need to code for that. Google Assistant handles itself. So for example, I suddenly out of nowhere, if a user says exit, I don't want to talk anymore, just exit. So that particular intent, so the intent is the user's intention is to exit the conversation. User does not want to continue the conversation, so the user will say exit, and the Google Assistant will pick that intent, like match that intent, and it will automatically disconnect the conversation. So it will leave the conversation at that point in time. So those are system intents. System intent, help is also system intent, exit, cancel, these are all the system intents. Coming to custom intents. Custom intent is, let's say I want to order a coffee. So I will say, please order coffee for me, please from Starbucks or something. So that's the user intent over here. The user's intent is to order a coffee. So we'll write a custom intent. So we'll write an intent to catch that user's intention, and we'll write some code to make sure that the user gets what it needs, or what he or she needs. So that way, those are custom intents. For example, whatever the scenario might be, if you develop to catch users and to catch that particular what do you say? To catch a particular user's intention and to make sure the user gets whatever he or she wants, those are custom intents. You can let's say there's some let's say a few years back I developed a Google Assistant action where I was just fetching information of our schedule and showing back to the user. Over there, the schedule, the intent was a custom intent. I'm just talking about custom intent. So over there, the custom intent was what's my next schedule over in university, what's my next lecture or something. So over there, the custom intent was to know what my next lecture is. So I'll write some training phases. So coming to training phases are the phrases which the user may say to invoke that particular intent. For example, please order coffee for me, please order coffee from Starbucks. Those are the training phases which the user may say. So if you are developed already for actions on Google, you may already know this key terms. Just wanted to refresh. Just wanted to again tell you about this thing so things are clear. So moving on to transitions. Transition is moving from one scene to another scene. Let's say once the introduction is completed, we move to the actual scene. Let's say in current scenario, once this particular presentation is over, we'll move to the actual code lab session. So that is a transition from one scene to another scene. It depends on some condition. So based on the condition is fulfilled or not, the transition scene will move from one transition. Transition will happen from one scene to another scene. Sorry. So let's get started. So that's pretty much it. Like that's the it covers mostly everything to get started with actions on Google. We'll start with the actual development part. So before we get started, just wanted to tell you that okay, first of all, let me share the link, console.actions.google.com. This is the link where you can, let me put that in the chat.
Nimesh, sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you in between.
Sure. No problem.
You can like see the chat in the like after some regular interval as well, so that you are just sync up with the audience, so
Yeah,
you can see
sure.
what all this in the chat.
Yeah. So this is the actions console where we'll be developing actions for the Google Assistant. To get started with, I have already shared this link in the chat. You can open this link and we'll start with developing. These are some of my previous projects which I developed. So let's get started. We'll start with the new project. You can name whatever you want over here. I'm just gonna say demo 5 is already the demo 6. Let's say you can name whatever over here. You can name whatever you want, but make sure the display name which is coming up next, you name as per your requirements or something you want to. This is just a demo project which won't be visible after we skip this part. Okay, moving on. So this is what kind of action you want to build. You can build for a smart home. You can even build games. For today's session, we're gonna go with custom. Once the custom is done, you can hit. Once the custom is selected, you can hit next. And please select blank project. We'll start from scratch, and I'll show you how to develop from the scratch. You can also pick some templates from over here if you want to start with something. But for today's session, we'll start with the blank project. So once,
Nimesh,
please, yeah.
interrupting you again, but yeah, as I think so, everyone would be doing along with you. So if you are, if anyone, if you is not comfortable or if not able to, do it side by side, so we can little bit go a little bit slow.
Okay,
So
sure.
yeah, I'm just asking everyone in the chat. You can just write it down in chat if everyone is comfortable or if want us to go a little bit slow. Okay, cool. If it's cool. So yes, please.
Mic is noisy. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay, cool.
So once you select this blank project, hit start building over to the top left or top right. So this is the actions console. Let me give you a brief introduction how things go. Over here, you can select a display name. So whatever name you choose over here will be the name of your action. So whenever you publish your skill, this particular name will be shown in the actions directory. So please make sure that you select the appropriate name. Also, you cannot use some brand's name. For example, Google is a brand. You cannot use brand's name. For example, if I try to use Google over here, it will show me warning that you cannot use this name. See, as you can see, could not reserve your pronunciation Google because it's a reserved brand name. So please don't use some brand name. You can select any other name you want. I'm saying Cake5. I don't know why. Recently there's some trend or some cake something. So I'm just choosing Cake5. Oh, Cake5 is reserved. So you can also hear the pronunciation, how the Google Assistant will speak once. So so that's how the Google Assistant will speak out when you invoke the action.
निमिष, is there any way like आप अपना MacBook का जो अपना लैपटॉप है उसका merge कर सको sound, because we are not able to hear the sound.
Okay.
I think उसके लिए what you have to do is कि Chrome tab share करना हुआ instead of the whole screen or whole window पे. So that way you can share the sound as well.
Okay. Actually.
Anyways, like we can do that as well.
No issue.
Actually, the thing is, we'll be switching tabs. That's why I think maybe.
Yeah, that's not an issue. Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool.
We can continue. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So once you're set the display name, we can move forward. Over to the left, we can go. Once the settings part is done, we can go to the main invocation. So this is the I already showed you the screenshot of this. This is the main develop tab where we'll be developing our action. Let me minimize this thing. So this is how the conversation will flow when the user says talk to Cake6. Cake6 is your action's name, and talk to Cake6. Cake6 is the main invocation for our action. Over here it is Cake6. For you, let's say it might be something else. It will be talk to something else. Will be your the invocation, main invocation. So once the users invoke, it will come over here. This is the main let's say invoke once once the user has invoked your action, it will come over here, and you can see that we are sending the prompt, and the prompt says start building your action by defining your main invocation. So over here you can change so over here we have YAML and we have JSON, so you can select whichever one's comfortable for you. I'm going with YAML, so you can also select JSON. It's so simple, you just have to change the string over here, that's all. We can also call our webhook, where we'll be writing code and we'll call the webhook. When we call the webhook, we'll have to put the name of our handler, so that our action knows when the conversation at this particular time which handler to invoke, because there will be after a certain time there will be a number of handlers. So which handler to invoke, we just have to input the handler name. For now we are not calling the webhook, we are just will simply post let's say we'll say hello. Once okay, before that let me show you the things in the console. These are the scenes which we'll cover in a while. Intents, as I talked about, these are the system intents which I showed you earlier also, which I talked about, that system no match, no input, cancel. These are the global intents. So at any point in the conversation, if the user says something, so this particular intent will be matched, and we don't have to write code for that. These are all the system intents. It will automatically invoke, and automatically things will be taken care for us. Over here, these are the types. We'll be using types soon, so I'll talk more about that soon. So over here is the webhook, where we'll be writing code. We'll be writing code online only, so we don't have to write code in the editor. For now, we are doing this, but if you want to write code in your ID, you need to maintain it in your some version control system. You want to use Git, Bitbucket, whatever you want, you can do that also, because there's a separate tool available for that. It's called Actions Builder SDK. So you can import that. It's an NPM model which you can import that and start writing code for that. So that's the webhook, and these are the theme customization, accounting, and some other services which we won't be focusing today. So over here is the test tab, deploy, and analytics, which we'll be using soon. So before we jump into the developing part, let me one thing you need to enable is search web activity control, and click on this first link. You will have to enable few permissions before we start testing. Once you Google search this web activity control, please open the first link and make sure these two check marks are ticked, because this allows, you can also test it in your phone, and it also allows testing on directly on the web and Chrome. So make sure before we start testing and developing, make sure these two checkboxes are ticked. Once that is out, so you need to search web activity control. Let me see. Cool, there's no doubts for now. So you can search web activity control on Google, and please open the first link itself and make sure those two check boxes are ticked. Once that is done, we'll start developing. So also just need to inform you guys that I'll be following the CodeLab 1 and 2. So if you are lagging behind, make sure you can ask the doubts in the Slack or over the chat, or you can follow the CodeLabs directly as well. So let's start building.
So Nimesh, you can take our rest for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we have a small poll. So yeah, you can have some water and just take a couple of minutes rest.
Thank you.
Yeah. So meanwhile, we have a small poll for you guys, and let me just show you. Gaurav, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. So could you please show them the poll that we have just created?
Yeah,
it will be like I'm just sharing the screen, not screen actually, just sharing the link in the. So when you head over to this link, you can see a poll there.
So I guess everyone knows about Commuter. It's our own platform. Arpan has created it.
So you can, uh, yeah. So you can
Yeah,
head
this session is being,
over.
yeah, we'll be putting it on YouTube so that you can just, anytime come back and see.
You can fill the form poll as well there. So I have just made it live for you.
So this is our new feature. Arpan has implemented just, maybe yesterday, I guess.
Let's see the line.
So far, if you guys have any questions, doubt, you can ask. If not, we can start with the session. We can continue the session.
Yeah, please feel all of you, please feel free to put your doubts in the Slack channel, and you can just put the screenshot of of anything or error you get, any of your doubts. We are keeping an eye on the chat, so we would be addressing your doubts as soon as possible.
Shall we continue?
Yeah. We can continue.
Cool. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So
Nimish, over to you. We can continue.
okay. So let's start with the start developing. So over here, we'll simply first of all see what exactly is going on. Let's say this is the main invocation. So over here, this is a tab where you can click on main invocation, and this particular screen will show up. So this is the once the user has invoked the action, it will come over here, and over here what we are saying is hello world. Instead of that, let me paste this. So I'm pasting this speech from the CodeLab, which is let me share the link of the CodeLab as well. Okay. So I'm this is the before that, sorry, I forgot to give you the introduction of what we're gonna build today. So we are building a simple action which will help you help you learn the basic concepts of the Google Assistant, like actions on Google, which will help you in developing some other applications as well. So today we'll be building a simple a Google Assistant action which will ask the user if he or she wants to play the game or not, which will help us understand how the custom intents work, which we discussed a few minutes ago. Which will have, so once that is done, we'll ask the user to choose one tool to on their way of journey to mythical land of Griffinburg. There's the theme which they have developed. Welcome to the mythical land of Griffinburg. So over here we are just asking the user, please pick one tool which you will be using throughout your journey to for successful journey, let's say. So I'm just copying the response it says a wondrous greeting, adventurer. Welcome to mythical land of Griffinburg. Based on your clothes, you're not from around this land. It looks like you're on your way to an epic journey. So this is the welcome message which we are showing it to the user. Let me save that. So please make sure that you save. If you won't save, you won't be able to see how the action is flowing. You won't be able to test it properly. So please make sure you keep saying at a regular intervals. There's no autosave feature, but I think we should suggest an autosave feature after a while to Google actions from Google team. Because yesterday I was just developing a random application and I forgot to save, and I was scratching my head for half an hour. I was not able to figure out what exactly is going on. So please make sure, guys, you hit the save button regularly, like at regular intervals. So once this is simple greeting message which we are giving it to the user. So once you have saved, let's try it out. And also before that, we are sending the prompts over here. This is the speech we'll be sending it to the user. And over to the down, we have a transition. So this is the transition. Over here, we are transitioning it to end conversation. If we want transition into no conversation, as you can see, it automatically change that there's no transition once this particular conversation is over. So let's say we keep it to end conversation. So as you can see, the end conversation block automatically shows up. So we are ending the conversation for now, but we'll gradually develop a full application soon. So once that is done, once you have saved that, you can click on test. It will I'm opening it in a new tab so that we can we can have look at both the things at once. So once this tab is will load up, you can see that left side over here is the actual. Over here, actually, you can say what. Over here, my display name is Cake6. So over here, I will say talk to Cake6. So if you don't want to talk, or if you don't want to give your mic permissions because of some privacy issues, I know even I'm not giving the mic permissions to Google Chrome. So if you don't want to, because of privacy reasons, if you don't want to, you can also click on over here, talk to Cake6, and it will show the responses over here. It says, let's get the test version. This is the system generated response, which Google Assistant will show every single time. And over here, there is one bug which Google Assistant team is aware of, that recently we saved and the latest version is not available to us in the test window. So that is one bug which we'll be facing, that we'll have to like refresh a few times and get back to this, because this is the old response which Google Assistant is showing. We have already updated. Sorry. Hello.
Sorry to interrupt you, but your voice is breaking in between.
I'm sorry, maybe there's some internet issue.
Yeah, that's cool. If you can please, could you repeat the last line? It would be good for all of us.
Okay, so what I was saying, that if you don't want to give mic permissions to Google Assistant, this Chrome tab, you can directly click over here and invoke your action, or otherwise, and there's one one bug in this console, that even though we already saved our conversation, we have updated our response over here, and already we have saved it, still we are getting the old response because there's some bug in this console. And Google Assistant team already knows about it, and will maybe in couple of days will get the update, and it will get fixed in couple of days. But for today, we'll have to refresh a few times if you're not seeing the updated response. So let me refresh this once. Or also make sure that you keep every single time you have done your changes in the console and you are testing it into the simulator, every single time make sure that you are resetting the test, so that you are getting the updated version of your application. Like whatever changes we make, we'll get the updated one. But because of some reason, I don't know, we are getting the last version. That is one caveat. So okay, so after resetting the test, we are getting the updated response that wondrous greeting adventure, welcome to this So we are just sending a greetings message to the user. You can also see on the left, we are having a smart display. This is also simulator where we can see the response, how it looks in the smart display. Over here, as you can see, it says smart display. You can change it to smartphone. It will change the view to smartphone. If you want to change it to speaker, but speaker doesn't have a display or something, so there's no visual display for the speaker. You can also select KaiOS, but for now we'll start with smart display, so you can see what exactly is happening on. So if you have a smart display, or if you want to test it even onto the phone, please make sure that your the account which you are using currently for developing this action and the primary account on your phone, Android phone, is same, so that you can also directly test on your smartphone also. You can do that. So once that out of the way, we can start building the conversation for, okay, there's one more thing which I forgot to cover. So over here, these are the logs. So in actions on Google's console terms, these are called the logs. You can also view the logs in Google Cloud Platform, or you can also see it over here. So these are the main like parameters which we need to keep track of. These are like user input. Currently, we just invoke the action, so it says that we are currently in the scene. Start conversation scene. This is the system generated scene. By default, it comes with every single action. These are the session storage which we are not using as of now. This is the interaction match. As you can see, we invoke the main action, and next scene is, and we are just ending the conversation for now, and we are just simply sending this particular response to the user. This is the speech, and this is display. So there could be this could be also possible that you are speaking something else, but you are showing something else. That is also possible. But please make sure that users stays in the context of the conversation. That's the only main thing which we need to take care of. And while ending the conversation, it is saying it is the same thing. We are just simply ending the conversation. So these are the other parameters while debugging, which these things will be really helpful while debugging. So moving on to next thing. Okay, so over here currently what we are doing is we are ending the conversation. Transition is end conversation, but we don't want to end the conversation. We'll transition into a new scene. Let me name that scene as start. To add a new scene, what you need to do is over here in the main invocation, make sure you are on the invoke. Make sure this invoke is selected, not the end conversation, or not this one. Let me go back. Make sure this invoke is selected, and if you scroll down a bit, you will see transition. Currently, we are just ending the conversation, but we don't want to end the conversation. We'll develop the conversation. We'll move the conversation forward, and we'll name it as we'll moving to a new scene. So this is a new part of our conversation. The example which I gave, introduction, the main start, the main conversation on the particular topic of the call, and the conclusion. So this is the main. This will be the main scene of our action. So once you have selected, once the transition is set to start, make sure that the start won't be available for you. You will have to type it over here, start, and click add over here, so that start will be added. And make sure over here also it says transition to start. So once this particular message, this particular prompt is sent to the user, will transition to start. Start scene is a different scene which we'll be developing now. So moving on to the start scene. So over here on enter. So let me quickly show you what exactly each term is. So on enter, the moment we enter into the scene, do we want to tell user something? We can say send prompts if you want to tell something to the user, or if you want to call the webhook and get the response from our function. So these are the two things. Over here we have conditions. If some condition is met, then give this response. Let's say there's some condition. Let's say online something like that. This is just the pseudocode that I'm typing over here. That this is not the actual condition. Let's say if the user is online something like that, we'll send the response. We are not doing this. I'm just trying to show you what exactly is every single part over here. Let me cancel this. You got. This is slot filling. The slot filling I'll cover soon, and a custom intent handling, which will be developing in this scene. So let me copy a response from the code lab, and on enter, we'll send the prompts, and let me paste it over here. So this conversation, this particular part of speech will be given, will be like thrown towards the user when the user enters transition into the start scene. So once the user transition into this scene, the moment the conversation enters to this scene, at that particular time, this particular piece of string will be shown to the user. It says, before you continue on your quest, would you like your fortune told? So we are just saying that before you continue, we are just asking a user a question whether whether you would like to, would you like your fortune told? So we are saving it. Please make sure that you save at regular intervals. So what we did just now is the moment the conversation transitions to start scene, on enter, we'll send some prompts, and we are just sending, before you continue your quest, would you like your fortune told? Let me check if you guys have any doubts so far. Any ammo without quotes? Yeah. You can also like write. You can also like send this your string in quotes as well. You can also remove the quotes. That's totally fine. You can also use single quotes, double quotes, whatever it is. It's fine. So if there's any error, it will show it in the last tab over here, the last section. It will show if there's any warnings or any errors. It will show it over here. Let me minimize this. So far, let me check. It's fine. Let me answer. Cool. So let's move forward. So once we have put this prompt to the user, let's save it and let's test it out. I'll reset this test. Please make sure that you reset this test every single time you you want to start testing. Please make sure you reset it before starting. We'll say talk to Kexif. This is the invocation name for our application. Yeah, see, this is the old response we are getting. We are not getting the actual. Let me reset it once again. This is one small bug which is not fixed, which I told you earlier. So let me refresh it. So in the meantime, if you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Let me invoke this again. No doubt so far. Cool. I'm invoking this action by clicking over here. It says suggestion. You can click over here. It says talk to Kexif. I'm invoking, and once it's still not showing the updated response. I've already saved this.
It's showing for me.
Yeah, it works for some users. It doesn't work for I asked a few GDEs like Google Assistant Expert, Google Developer Expert. I asked to them. They are not facing these issues, but some other people are facing these issues. So it works for some and it doesn't work for others. I don't know why. So it's good that it's working for you. Let me reset it again and try it out. Cool. So now it's showing the updated response. This is the greeting. So this is the greeting part. And the moment greeting is over, you can see that we are transitioning it to a new scene. Remember this response we put into the string while we were developing for the start. Let me show you. This is the start scene, and we put this particular prompt. So the conversation has already transitioned into the new scene. So that's the good part. So it is currently showing before you continue on your test, would you like? So over here now, what we're gonna develop is we'll ask the user. We have already asked. Now we'll teach our action how to like make sure what's the yes prompt and what's the no prompt. So we'll teach our action that this when the user says yes, do this, and when the user says no, do that, something like that. So over here, let's add, first of all, let's add suggestion chips by clicking over here. We are still in the main, we are still in the start scene. As you can see over here, start scene. Please make sure that this after speech, once you click over here, it will automatically pop the required syntax. You just have to say, let's say I'll just say yes and no. So currently what we're doing is we are just showing it to the user. We are not processing how the yes intent should be processed. We are not processing. We are just showing it to the user. Like, would you like, before you continue, would you like your fortune to be told? So we are just showing it to the user, yes and no. Let me save this and quickly show you how it looks. So once that is saved, please make sure that again you reset this. Before continuing, please, every single time, please make sure that you reset the test. And also make sure that you have already saved this. So far, you have saved your progress. So once the test is enabled, we can invoke the action again. Let me refresh this. It's not showing me the updated response. We have already added the suggestion chips. Come on. Let me check if you guys have any doubts so far. No doubts? Cool. So these are called suggestion chips. As you can see, this particular thing down up over these are called suggestion chips. Once you click over there, it takes the input from the user. Similar to this conversation, it takes the input. Internet is slow. Come on, come on. This is the only thing I prayed that this shouldn't happen. Internet shouldn't be slow. We are not getting this check in the, oh, see, it says waiting for the user input. Still we are not getting the suggestion chips. This is one little bug, I don't know why. It works for some people, it doesn't work. Let me refresh this again. Last night when I was trying, it was like going so smoothly, I didn't have to refresh a few times. But right now it's not happening. Come on. So until then, no problem, we'll move forward. So over here, we have just shown to the user. So in the smart display, it will show that yes suggestion chip and no suggestion chip. We are just showing it to the user. We are not like what do you say? We are not teaching our action that if the user says yes, do this. If the user says no, then do that. So we are not doing that. So let's do that now. So what we need to do for that is we'll create a new intent over here. So on the left panel over here, this panel, if you can see this intents, there's a plus button which says new intent. Please click over there and type yes intent, or just yes is also fine. And I'll also add, we created two intents, yes intent and no intent. Now we'll see, we'll add some training phrases. So training phrases, as I told you earlier, that training phrases are simply the phrases that the user will say. So let's say the user, will say yes, yeah, yo, something like that. So we need to make sure, we need to teach our Google Assistant, we need to teach our action that if the user says something like that, please invoke this intent. So we'll catch the intent that way. So something like that you can also, so it is a best practice to add minimum of 10 phrases. But for now, for the demo purpose, only 4 or 5 is also fine. As you can see, we are already having few errors over here, if you click down there, it will show you currently the intent yes contains no training phrases, and because we just created, so it will go away after a while once you add few training phrases over here. In Alexa terms, we say utterances. I think, I'm not sure, but utterances, training phrases are one and the same thing that the user will say. So to make sure that our action is able to handle multiple edge cases, make sure that, let's say, suppose user may also say let's do it instead of yes. A Linux user may also say yeah, why. I frequently use why instead of saying yes, because in Linux terminal, if you want to install anything, if you want to update, we get two brackets y/n. I usually say why. So some Linux freaks may also say why. So we need to make sure that our action is capable of handling any scenario. That's why it says we need to make sure that we need to have at least 10 phrases. So make sure that you fill minimum of 10 training phrases you add. And once that is done, please make sure that you save at regular intervals. So once this is done for yes, we'll need to do the same thing for no. So let's add training phrases over here. So, I forgot to tell you this thing. So this is over here, it says, is this a global intent? No, this is not a global intent because at a random scenario, if the conversation is going on and the user says no, it doesn't make sense. For what, like there's no context of for what the user is saying no. So that's why this is not a global intent. It is just a local intent that we are using. And if you want to add intent parameters, but we don't have such parameters, I'll show you how we can do that in the next code lab, in the coming few sessions. Next thing, we'll cover that also. So once that is done, we'll head over to the no. So as you can see on the top, this is similar to like Chrome tabs. You can switch between tabs. Over here, there's a console which we can switch between the different types of the components. So over here, make sure that you are in the no intent, and let's say, let me add a few training phrases. No, nope, no. User may also say nah, something like that. So you can add training phrases. Make sure you add minimum 10, as I said earlier also, and please make sure that you hit save button. The reason why I am emphasizing this a lot is I faced a few problems, like I was scratching my head for hours and I was not able to figure out what exactly is going on, and I forgot to save. In VS Code, we currently have autosave feature, so I don't usually save a lot. So that's the reason why I'm telling you. So please make sure you save at a regular intervals. So once this is done for no intent and yes intent, let's check if we have any errors. So we have no errors. Perfect. Let's go head over to the test tab and test it out. Before testing, let's reset it. Let me check if you guys have any doubts. Cool. So so far we don't have any doubts. I think this simulator is already reset. Let's invoke the invocation. Let's invoke the action. We can invoke the action by clicking over here. Oh, perfect. So now, as you can see, it is showing us yes. These are the suggestion chips. If you don't know, the suggestion chips, we have yes. If you remember, we configured it a while back. So over here, we are sending two suggestions, yes and no. And as you can see, we have two. You can also click over here at the top, or also in this screen, this smart display. So currently, so as you can see, this much prompt, this is the greetings which we sent, and this is the transition to our start scene. And over here, along with the response, we are also asking the user to whether if you want to continue, we can say yes or no. So currently we haven't configured. If the user says yes, it will break the conversation. Like it will show, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, because we haven't configured, we haven't taught our action how to interpret yes. So we'll teach that now. It's simple. You just have to configure it over here. So once that is done, if that is done, we can move forward, because there was some big step we covered. So once that is done, now make sure that you are in the start scene. Over here, you are start scene. Make sure that we are in the start scene, and so these two are custom intents, and these are system intents and custom. So we'll handle custom intents. We'll click on custom. We'll select which intent we need to use. So let's see how the conversation should flow. We are currently asking the user, would you like the fortune to be told? User may say yes or no. These are the only options we are giving to the user. Let's say if the user says yes, let's see first. If the user says no, then we'll simply transition it to end the conversation, because the user is like not in the currently mode to use our action. So we'll simply end the conversation. If once that is done, yeah, make sure that you in the transition section you select end conversation. These are the system scenes, and make sure you click on end conversation. Once that is done, hit save. Now we'll do what will happen if the user says yes. We'll see that. In the meantime, if you guys have any doubt, can we use key value like 13 or enter? I'm not sure what he's trying to ask. Can we use key code value like 13 or enter key or trigger yes no? Like as I showed you, you can add it this way. We are currently handling the custom intent, so yes and no are the custom intents, and so we'll add yes intent over here. And we in Actions Builder, this is how we handle intents. I'm not sure what do you mean by key code value. Can we use key code value like 13 or?
Ayush, could you please elaborate more about that?
Yeah, please, that would be helpful.
And I just to check the progress everyone is making. So जिसका हो गया है, like जो साथ साइड बाय साइड कर रहा था अपने like code lab को follow कर रहा था. So could all of you just put the screenshots in the Slack chat if possible? Like जितनी progress हुई है, just take the screenshot of that. And starting with Nimesh, could you just take the small screenshot of the screen and
Yeah.
share it in the Slack chat?
Sure. I'll do it.
And all of you, जो please side by side कर रहा है, I would appreciate अगर हम सब कर रहे हो तो.
Ongoing language.
Also, in the meanwhile, you can tweet as well. I think I have shared the hashtags and accounts that you can tag in. Don't forget to use those.
Yeah, as Nimesh has shared a screenshot, you can just look at. So हर कोई अपने progress के बारे में just keep putting your screenshots, so it would motivate others and us as well.
So Nimesh, Ayush has, I think, described the question again, that he asked that instead of writing yes or no, can we use keys for the same, like in Linux, we can just press enter to mean yes?
Yeah, we can do that also, but you need to make sure that the intents which we are doing, like the training phrases and the intents which you are putting it over here, make sure that the action is able to figure out what exactly is going on. So if the action is able to do that, then you will definitely able to do that. There's no issues over there. I hope that I answered your question correctly.
I have a doubt here. Like I was following, and then when you told about the intent no,
Yeah.
and it will be ending the conversation. So what actually we will be seeing in the output?
Yeah. So as you can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So currently what we're doing is, currently if the no intent is matched, we are simply ending the conversation. For example, if let's say if you want to send something to the, send some response to the user, you can click send prompts checkbox. You can tick that checkbox, and we'll say, let's say goodbye for now, something like that. We can send this thing to the user, and
Okay.
yeah, something like that. We can do that. We can send on the prompts as well.
Okay. Because for now it's showing, sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you try again?
Make sure you hit and reset the test simulator, because I'll also face the same issue, because there's a bug in the test simulator. I'm so sorry for that.
Okay.
Let me do this again. So currently we're not sending the response, but we can send the response. Let's say, so if yeah, doubts, if the doubts are cleared, and cool, let's move forward. So currently what we are doing is, for no intent, if the yes intent, for the no intent, we are currently ending the conversation, and for a yes intent, we are not doing anything. So let's do that. For yes intent, so we'll send the prompts, and let me paste the string which is given in the code lab, which you can grab it from there. So currently we are saying your feature depends on the aid you choose. Choose wisely, farewell stranger. So we are simply over here also, we are simply ending the conversation. To end the conversation, you just simply in the transition section, you just have to simply choose end the conversation, and make sure you hit save. And also for no also, we'll also send a response for the no. Let me paste. So for any intent, if you want to send prompts, please make sure you click check this box, check this checkbox, tick this checkbox, sorry. Or you can also even call the webhook. For calling the webhook, we have to put a handler name. So let me paste the string. So what I'm pasting is, I understand stranger, best of luck on your quest, farewell. This is the simple string which we are sending it to the user. In the case when the user said no, as you can see, this is the no intent which we are handling. Let me minimize this. As you can see, if the no intent is matched, we are ending the conversation, but I understand stranger, this is the string which we are giving it to the assistant, and when yes is matched, your feature depends on the aid you choose. If you want to like add quotes, you can add quotes, single quote, double quote, but it's totally fine if you don't want to add, that's also fine, but it's a good practice to add. So in case in double quotes, so I thought there might be a problem that if you are using single quote and you are using apostrophe s, then some part of the string may like get disconnected, or means like some part of the string may get ended in the middle. So make sure you, if you want to use, you can use. There's no such restriction. It usually after saving it, maybe automatically picks it up. For no intent, yeah, it automatically after you save, it automatically adds the codes. So once that is done, it says changes were made to this project 7 minutes ago. Reset. So let's reset this. Cool. So no more doubts for now. So once the test is reset, click on this suggestion chip to invoke our action. So let's say now this is the, as you can see, this is the greeting part. This much is the greeting part. Now we are transitioning it to the main start scene. This is this response is coming from the start scene. If you want to check, you can also check over here. It says waiting for the user's input, and also it says suggestion title yes and no. And on enter, we are sending the response. Cool. Okay, let's say I say yes. Come on. Let me reset it again. This shouldn't happen in the ideal scenario, but I don't know why. I hope that gets fixed soon. Before you continue, let's say, let me say no this time. See, now it says, I understand stranger, best of luck on your quest. So this time we are receiving the response from the user. So if the user says no, it is not simply like disconnecting the call or disconnecting the conversation. It's always a good practice to, like, before ending the conversation, you say some like goodbye message or something. You can add some message or something like that. So over here, so let's try it out for the yes scenario as well. Talk to Cake 6. And this is the greeting part, and this is the prompt coming from the start scene. Let me say yes. Yeah, so now we are getting the updated response. So it says your future depends on the aid you choose. Choose wisely, farewell. So in the both cases, for now, we are just ending the conversation and giving a simple response. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna so currently what is happening is no matter what no matter how many times the user has came to our action, we are simply giving the static response, like this, the big 3-line, 2.5-line message which we are sending it to the user. So it's not natural conversation. It feels more like robotic or something. So to like make sure the natural conversation flows, will update the response every single time so we can do that, but in this scenario we'll check if the user has already visited our action, so we'll change the response. We'll like shorten it up because the user has already visited and it knows what our action does. So what we'll do is we'll shorten this response and we'll send back it to the user. So currently what we're doing is we are sending this huge response. We'll shorten it up because we have already visited our action. So for that, we'll write code. Let's jump into code. So, okay. So for that, we'll go to webhook. First of all, let me go into the main section. So make sure that you are over here, Cake 6, like in the for like the initial part of our conversation. Make sure that main invocation is selected over here and make sure you are over here. So what we are doing right now is we are sending the static response. No matter what user says or not, we are just sending, like no matter how many times the user has visited our application, we are just sending this static response. Now we'll make it dynamic. Let's say if the user has visited our application earlier, let's say 2 days back or 3 days back, we'll give you a short and sweet response. To do that, we'll write some code for that. It's a simple code. You just need to add one simple if condition, and based on that, we'll figure out. So let's say we'll go to webhook now. Please make sure that you click webhook over here. It is asking currently whether you want to use your own HTTP endpoint or inline cloud function. Please make sure that inline cloud function is selected. So for that, we'll just have to write code in our web IDE in this particular console itself. We don't need to write or deploy it after some time. We'll just write it in the console and deploy it. It's simple there. So before jumping into the code, I'll just briefly introduce you what exactly is going on. So this is our index.js file. We are importing this to modules. This is the assistant conversation. We are grabbing the conversation. This is destructuring ES6 destructuring syntax, and we are just over here. We are using functions to deploy. This is, I think, Firebase Cloud Functions we are using. Yeah, this is Firebase function.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think we all are facing the same issue that your screen is stuck. We can't see what else you are coding. It's stuck in fulfillment methods.
So currently I am at fulfillment method.
Oh, it's not moving. Like actually what all you said that initially it's getting stuck. You can see the chat.
Okay. Let me reshare my screen if that's the case. I'll stop presenting.
Nimesh, your voice is getting properly, but your screen streaming is not with your voice. So
Yeah,
maybe I think some internet low connectivity, due to that we can face this.
yeah. Let me reshare my screen. Maybe that will fix.
Yes, please. That will be good.
Yeah. So let me present now.
Nimesh, I think you can turn off your video to save your data there.
Yeah, that will. Cool. Can you see my mouse cursor moving? Something like that? Like, if you can say, like, did that solve the issue or not? Hello? Anyone can hear?
Yeah, you are audible. So anyone can come on the chat box.
I'm not able to see your mouse moving actually because now it's okay.
It's lagging, I think.
Yes, it's now working.
It's working now?
Yeah, I think it is working now.
Yes.
Cool.
On the chat box, everyone.
Sorry?
Nimesh, you can go. I think it's
Cool.
it is.
Yeah, I think you can move forward now.
Okay, so let me give you a brief introduction about this, what the code is actually doing. So these are the two NPM modules which we are importing. So this is the by default boilerplate code that Cool Assistant this and the webhook we are already getting. We just need to write our logic over here, and that's pretty much it. So what we can do now is we are invoking, we are creating a new variable called app. We are calling this function. This is the boilerplate code which we need to do. So over here, first of all, we'll change the handler name. Let me say it is greeting. Make sure that you update the greeting, we are updating the name of the handler. The handler name is greeting, and we'll check. So currently our message is the long one. Let me shorten it down. Let's say I'll create a new variable called message. So if you don't know JavaScript syntax, let is like the construct or the inbuilt keyword which helps us creating a variable. So with this variable will only be available to this particular scope because we are declaring it as a let variable. There's also one we called const, and other is var if you want to declare it that way. So I'm pasting the string updated greetings message. So I shorted it down. Earlier it was this whole message up till journey. Yeah, currently it's also the same. So this is the message. So what we're trying to achieve over here is if the user has already visited us in the past. So to check that, we have a property called if conversation is the object which we are receiving from this arrow function. We'll do conversation dot user dot last seen time. So this particular property if this particular property has the timestamp, then what we'll do is that means the user has already visited our action in the past. So we'll shorten it down. We'll update the message variable. As you can see, remove this. I think I added one more. Yeah, so that is done. So this is the big message which we used to send earlier, like no matter if the user has visited or not. Now we are shortening it down. If the user has already visited, like this property is like inbuilt, we just have to use this property and we can make sure that user has visited or not. So we are just checking if we already have a property and there's some value in it. So we are updating the message variable to this shortened greeting, and we are just passing that variable over here. So that's it we need to do.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you in between again. I think your screen is stuck again.
Oh, I'm not sure why is it happening.
Can you okay, like if if this only Chrome tab like you have to use there, so like you can just use that only Chrome tab there. So instead of sharing the whole screen, you can use sharing the Chrome tab. I think that might.
Okay, let me do that. I'll stop share. Present now. Chrome tab. So currently, okay. So can you guys see my screen or cursor moving?
Yes, it's visible now.
Cool. I'm so sorry for this inconvenience. I don't know why it's happening. Cool. Let's move forward. So if you guys like done writing this code, we can make sure that you hit the save button and deploy it once you. So what we are currently doing is this is the same old message, long message, that the greeting message, which we will give to the user if the user is visiting our action for the first time. But over here, we are checking if the user has already visited, like just like in WhatsApp, we have last seen. If the user we have last seen time available to us, we'll check the last seen time and it's available. We don't have to check what's the exact time the user has visited. We just need to check the property. If that property is available to us, that's cool. That means the user has visited, and we'll update the message variable to a shortened greeting and we'll simply add it to the conversation. So what this call does is it simply this particular statement on line 12, it simply adds this message variable. So message is basically simply a string. So it adds this string to this conversation. I hope that's clear. So once that much is done, you can hit save. And please make sure that you deploy this. Deploy the fulfillment. You don't need to anything. The Google Assistant console will take care of everything. You just need to hit that button. That's all. So it says cloud function deployment in progress. Once it is done, we can go back to our action and update. Remember earlier what we used to do was we used to click on the checkbox called send prompts. But instead of that, this time we'll check the webhook one, where we are calling our webhook, and we will simply pass this particular handler. So remember I told you just we need to pass this particular handler name, and Google Assistant will take care of everything in the background. So we just need to do that. This is taking a long time. In the meantime, let me copy this. So we'll go back to our start conversation. No, not start in the main invocation.
Nimish, if you don't mind, could you please put that code in the Slack chat? So
yeah, sure.
if you know, it would be easy for all of us.
I just posted the whole code, so we can just copy it completely and paste it in the code editor in the console. So that's all we need to do now. And once the deployment is done, we'll go back to the main invocation. It is taking a long time. I don't know if we can move it to the other tab and continue this thing in the background, but let's say wait for a while.
You have to stop sharing the screen and then do it again for the other tab.
Like I don't like no, not the other tab. I'm talking about the tab over here, the main invocation in the console itself. You can see the several tabs.
Yeah, you can do that, I think.
Yeah, I can do that, but I was worried if this will stop or not. Yeah, it did stop. So we need to make sure that until this cloud function is deployed, we need to stay on the same screen. I was in doubt. Like I was confused about that, whether it will continue in the background or not.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, there's some error. I did not expect this. I updated the code I like grab the code. I grab the same code from. Oh, this time it saved successfully. Let me deploy, and let me also paste the same code in the chat also. Sorry, Slack. Let's wait until this finishes. Until then, what we can do is we actually can't change that app. That's the bad thing. No problem. But let me show you what other things are available over here. Remember, I told you at the beginning of this about this app that we will allow our users to select any three of the weapon or some aid which this code lab is saying. So for that, we need to tell our action that these are the only things that the user must say. If the user says something else, then we need to handle. So in conversational design sense, it is called a happy path and a sad path. So happy path is when the user follows the exact same path which we expected, like the happy path, like which follows all the instructions and goes in a proper way, like responds properly. But if something wrong happens, then we need to handle some edge cases. Like for example, if the user says something else randomly out of nowhere, then we need to handle that also. So that thing will handle in types. Currently we are in webhook. We already saw intents, scenes, and main invocation. Let's see how much long will it take. There are no errors, but I don't know why it was giving one. Oh, deployment is successful. Finally, cool. So what we'll do is we'll head over to the main invocation. On the top left, as you can see on my cursor, there's a main invocation. And make sure that the invoke tab is selected. And instead of sending the prompts, please uncheck that and check this call your webhook, and we'll simply use the greeting handler name. So yeah, greeting singular. Greetings. I was just checking whether it's greetings or greetings. So it's singular greeting, and make sure that you save, and let's test it out. Once this NLU training is done, we can minimize this and we can go over to this test tab. I hope you are able to see my screen. There's no issues. Cool. So far, so good. So once it is available, test simulator is available, we can go head over to this suggestion chip and to invoke our action.
Let's get the test version of Cake 6.
Cool.
A wondrous greeting, adventurer. Welcome to the mythical land of Gryffindor. Based on your clothes, you are not from around these lands. It looks like you're on your way to an epic journey. Before you continue on your quest, would you like your fortune told?
There's something wrong. We had already visited our action before, right? So this long message shouldn't come. Like it should come a simpler, shortened message. Let's reset it again. Let me refresh it also. In the meantime, if you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Cool, let me invoke this action.
Let's get the test version of Cake 6.
A wondrous greeting, adventurer. Welcome back to the mythical land of Gryffindor. Before you continue on your quest, would you like your fortune told?
Remember earlier it was a long message. Now, if you want to debug and check where exactly that is, we checked. Oh, as you can see, the last time parameter now a property now has a value that we use this application at this particular time. So this is the conversation object. We got into user, and then we like use this property to check whether the user has already visited our action earlier or not. We did test our action. That's why we do have a timestamp over here. So through this way, what we are doing is we are making the conversation natural and we are not making it robotic. So each time you can also have like multiple greetings stored in a variable, generate a random number, and based on that random number you can based on that random number you can give new responses each time the user visits. So you can add that logic also. So for now we are not doing that. We are just simply like shortening the greetings response. So let's see whether if you guys have any doubts so far. Let's do. Cool, no doubts. If you guys have any doubt, you can post it in the Slack channel or even on the chat window. So moving forward, so this was Code Lab 1. I don't think so. Congratulations for staying till if you are able to complete this much, because this is the end of Code Lab 1. We have successfully completed Code Lab 1. I don't think we have much time left to continue with the Code Lab 2, because Code Lab 2 is little trickier to continue with, but it's simple. You can if you can do it at your home. If you guys stuck at any point, you can reach out to me at the mentioned links I showed in the presentation.
Yeah, it would be great, Nimesh, if you can just put the links like again in the chat box in the Slack channel.
Yeah, sure, I will do that.
And here also in the chat box also, so that if anyone is not in the Slack, they can be aware.
Sure. You can ping me on Twitter, LinkedIn, or you can even email me if you want. Let me post it in the. This is my Twitter handle. Oh, sorry, the Twitter profile URL. LinkedIn. I'll also paste it in the Slack channel. You can reach out to me at any platform, whatever it is convenient to you. So if you guys so far have any doubts, actually I have few presentations to cover. So if you guys have any doubt till now, we can cover that. Otherwise, we can move on to the presentation. I have few things to share with you guys.
I just have a doubt. Like, can we see this public? Like, can we share it to someone and like not in our with our email account, but with other?
Yeah, we can do that. It is so if you can see my screen, it's in the deploy. What you can do is it deployed to alpha version. So in alpha version, you can share it with 20 people. So that doesn't require certification from Google team. You can directly share. You can directly add their email ID. I knew where it was in the old console. Let me check. Images, contact details, additional information. Oh, there's a tab called release. I think it should be here. So over here, as you can see, alpha release lets you test your actions up to 20 users without submitting for the review first. So over here, you can add email address of your friends or colleagues. You can add the email address. They will get email or something, or some notification that they are the alpha member of your application. They can try it out without getting, like, if you submit it for review, it will take around a week or so to get reviewed. In beta users, you can send it up to 200 users, but over here you need to like submit it for the review before sharing it with your friends. So over here you can share it with 200 users. Over here you can share it with 20 users. So if you want to like launch your action in beta, you will have to like submit it for review. Once the Google team approves your application, then you can share it with your friends up to 200. And in production, it goes live on the actions directory.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay. Thank you.
I forgot to share that. Thank you.
Yeah. So Nimesh.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Nimesh, that was great. That was fantastic. Awesome Code Lab I have attended.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, thanks again. Thanks a lot for that. So meanwhile, we have prepared a small fun activity for you all. So I'll be, taking giving the charge to Vanshita and Shubhangi, so
Okay,
they can take you to the fun activity.
cool.
Yeah, hello guys.
Arendra, just let me check if there.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, Vanshita
Yeah, hello
is
guys.
online.
It's a like
Hello,
a quiz.
Vanshita. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's a quiz like of 8 questions. You all have to answer
And
that.
Shubhangi.
Yeah, so the questions and the options will be presented on the screen by Aryan, and you have to log in to the Kahoot from your phone and answer that questions through the options. So Aryan, please share your screen with the quiz. Yeah, so guys, please join with www.kahoot.it or with the Kahoot app and enter this game pin.
I'm also sharing this on Slack and Google Meet
On
chat.
the chat as well. Okay.
Hello. Yeah, so we have different people coming.
Yeah, come on, guys. Aryan, please switch off the music, please.
You guys can come up with your original names. There's
Yeah, please.
each child.
Because there will be the winners and all that also.
No, original name was not the original name.
Hmm.
So we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start.
Yeah, guys, hurry up.
You can find the links of this Kahoot and the game pin on the Slack channel as well.
Yeah.
Tushar is saying please wait 2 minutes. Yeah, for sure, Tushar. Anonymous.
Punish.
We have Qwerty here, we have Happy Mango.
We have original name too.
We have Batman too.
That's fun, that's fun. So guys, the questions would be shown on the screen and you'll have to answer them on your mobile phones or your laptop window.
Through the color of the options or through the the diagrams or the geometrical shapes that is made on the options. Because you won't see the options on the phone, you will see only the color of the option. You have to remember that.
Are we done with the participants?
No. Happy Orange 96.
So I guess no t-shirts this time. Though we wanted, but you know, कुछ कर नहीं सकते अभी तो, but we can send t-shirts online if that works. We would send the design to Ayush.
Before this, we had the Google Assistant Developer Community Program, in which Google used to send AOG T-shirts, and the ones who have developed action in 2 languages were able to get a Google Home from Google. We actually
Oh,
have.
okay.
Yes, so actually, if I deployed it in Hindi and English both. So
So is it live? अभी अभी वो चल रहा है, मतलब like is it live now?
after the
that
update, there is some issue after that update that came to the Action console. So we
Okay.
have to for again, but before that update, it was running on globally.
I guess September में close हो गया था, September October में.
Yeah, after that update that came on Action console.
I guess we
Okay.
should start now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can start for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So be ready, guys,
Okay, guys.
and here we go.
First.
An entry point for users to start conversations with your action. Option A, actions. Option B, invocations. Option C, intent. Option D, prompt.
You have to remember by colors, guys. You will get the colors on the on your mobile phone.
So hurry up, 5 seconds left. So we have 11 correct answers. That's good. So we have anonymous on top. Cool. Types of scripting used in Action Console to edit your prompts. PHP, XML, JSON, and HTML. Most of you would be knowing this.
I hope anonymous is not Nimesh.
No, it's not me.
Okay.
Good.
18 right answers. We still have a doubt.
Okay, Sam is on the top, right?
A building block for your action that processes user input and typically generates a response to the user. Training phases, custom intent, scenes, and prompts. Five seconds left. And yep, 5
It is
correct answers.
Yeah,
So,
scenes.
एक दो tough questions चलते
So who's on the top? Who's on the top? Wait.
Jaya.
Jaya is leading by how many points? 84, like 16 points, right?
Yeah. A webhook triggers calls to your dash based on events that occur within your actions.
Fulfillment, response, invocation, and custom intent. So we have 6 correct answers. I guess that was the last tough question.
Oh, Happy Orange is now on the top. Jaya.
Jaya on second, Anonymous on third, not losing the race, Potter on fourth, HT1. Good. An open source UI software development kit created by Google, which is used to develop applications for Android and iOS. Something related to Google, because it's, of course, ZDD.
Also Google event, yeah.
Yeah, Kotlin, Java, Flutter. Easy one. So yeah,
Good.
good.
How many of you know about Flutter actually? I just want to take a minute. Like, कैसे मतलब, like if any one of you is working on Flutter or something. No one?
Guys, you can unmute it and speak up.
Busy numbers में.
Shubhangi Jaldeep is saying.
Working on Flutter from last since 1.5 year when Flutter was in beta version. Yeah.
Okay, so are you working on? Yeah, I you just told, yeah, my hobby, yeah. So you have been working professionally, right?
Yeah, I'm working on the Flutter from professionally, and as a right now I'm working on team lead as a for the calendar module, and also have working on for the packages and plugin as well.
Oh, that's great. So who's on the top now? Potterhead. Where's Jaya? Jaya was leading. Yeah. Okay, so we have HD.
Okay.
Batman, original name. Okay. We are in 96. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can continue.
Which cloud service is most used in actions on Google? Natural language processing, Fusion API, Cloud Run, and Cloud Bigtable. Quite an easy one.
Cloud Bigtable.
Good.
Yeah.
Put it on first.
Great response.
Potterhead
And
on
little
the
bit of change. Potterhead is still on top.
I'm sure Potterhead is using some kind of magic.
Which of them does not support Google Assistant? Option A, Google Home, Google Nexus, Echo Dot, and Google Pixel.
The words don't have.
इससे easy और क्या है?
It's easy, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Echo Dot.
ये गूगल होम किसने किया है?
फिर तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी.
Guys, Echo Dot is of Amazon, and rest three of are the products of Google itself.
Google.
So
Yeah.
all three of them are using Google Assistant.
So who's the winner? Potterhead.
Potterhead on the top.
Okay.
Last question.
Who's Potterhead? Let's. Could you please turn on your mic?
Potterhead.
Who's the winner?
Last question is still left.
Oh, Ocha. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. I didn't know.
Let's
So the
see.
last question: when was Google Assistant launched? 2011, 2009, 2016, and 2017. Ten seconds left.
Come on, people.
Winner decider question.
Yes.
Kind of difficult question.
We have 11 correct answers. And
The result.
third position goes to Batman.
Batman. Okay, original name. Wow.
Potterhead? Or
Yes.
yes.
Christian
And
Bapu.
the
Yeah,
are
right. Question Bob. Second.
But Ayush was fifth. Like, okay, the Bapu was Ayush.
At least I came.
So who is Potterhead?
Who is Potterhead, please?
Probably just a mystery.
We'll be sending a pizza voucher to Potterhead. So I think
Potterhead is not speaking up, so we have to shift that, transfer that pizza coupon to someone else. So whose original name?
Pizza voucher during COVID.
It's me.
Who? Sahadeep.
Wait.
Okay.
Sadi?
Sadeep
Man. Yes.
Congratulations, bhai.
Thank you.
बहुत सस्पेंस रखा हो भाई ने लेकिन.
Okay, so who's Batman?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, Mohammed. Okay, congrats, Mohammed.
Thank you.
So we can't arrange pizzas right now during the COVID, as you know. So इसलिए हम online कर रहे हैं, but still, we hope कि हम जल्दी से offline event कराएं and we would be having pizza, lots of pizzas.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We would
sub-
cover up for all
subs
the-
also.
Huh? Sorry?
And subs also.
Subs?
Swag.
He's saying swag.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We will note down these names, so we can distribute that. Cool. So moving on. So thank you, Vanshita. Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Shubhangi, for organizing such a great quiz. And that was fun. That was really a fun. Yeah, Ayush, we would definitely record this and put it on YouTube.
I actually have two more slides to cover. Can I continue
Yeah.
with this? Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Over to you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, Nimesh, it is visible to us.
Cool. So just wanted to share, these are the voice tech communities available. So if you want to learn more about voice technologies and the voice related some applications or some other technologies, you can, this is the like Voice Lunch is a regular community. Like every Tuesday and Thursday, we have sessions on where we discuss random different use cases and different parts of like something related to voice we talk about. Voice Talks is also one popular blog where Voice Talks is like regular episodes shared by Voice Summit Mode. So it is organized. So Voice Summit is the world's largest voice summit out there, and Voice Talks are like the talks. They are currently it has been sponsored by Google Assistant. So the guys who work at Google talk at this videos, and every single week they release a new episode. So Voice Talks, if you want to keep updated with the technology. VoiceBot is one blog. So it's a blog where you can keep yourself updated with the voice technology stuff. And there's also a podcast. VoiceBot is also a podcast. You can listen to that. You get to hear like various open source technology about voice-based applications and new technologies, open source technologies. So VoiceBot is really good one if you want to like keep up with the voice technology space. And this is a voice summit which happened last year during this time, like from July 20th to 24. And so yeah, so these are the few communities which you can like keep like what do you say, like keep regularly attending the sessions to keep yourself updated with the latest technology, latest advancements in the technology in voice space. And if you have any more doubts or if you want to learn more about Actions Builder, you can head over to the docs. These are the links. I'll post it in the Slack as well as in the chat. So you can follow this links for if you want to go through some advanced stuff like docs. If you want to refer to something else, you can check out docs. We completed the code labs, and first code lab we have completed. You can check out second code lab, and in the samples, even on GitHub, you can find some Actions SDK samples where you can see how to exactly write code for. And that's pretty much it. Like these are the two slides which I wanted to cover.
Yeah, thanks, Nimesh. Thank you so much for sharing the information with everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. So let me share my screen just. Naman, can you confirm that my screen is visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you everyone for joining us for our Action on Google Day 1. As earlier Naman told you in the starting of the session that we'll be having more sessions. We'll be having one more session on Action on Google next week, and after that we will have more session on different things, taking the developer days in the loop. And yeah, for more information about our next event, we will be sharing on Commoodle. Please keep checking Commoodle for information about our next events, and keep telling your friends that we'll be updating every information on Commoodle there. So let's meet our team at JDG New Delhi. So first we have Aparna. So Arpan Bhaiya is the creator of Commoodle. Hopefully you all know there. And Shilpa Di is leading the Women Tech Makers in New Delhi. Hopefully everyone knows Women Tech Makers there. Naman is, you all know that he is working here. He was also a software development engineer at
Sprinkler.
Sprinkler. And me, it is me, Mohammad Kafil Khan. I work at Samsung R&D as a DevOps engineer. And last but not least, Gaurav. He's working as a software development engineer at a company. I just forgot the name.
Unilogix.
Yeah, Unicos. So yeah, thank you so much everyone. So if you guys have any question or any query, please connect with us anytime. You guys can connect with us. And thank you so much everyone for joining. Hopefully we will be seeing each and every one of you next week with our day 2 talk on Action on Google. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, team, for organizing this.
Thank Nimesh. Thanks.
Thanks for
everyone.
inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.